Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you have been here before. For those of you who are here for the first time, I am Ria. I am a knitter, a crocheter. I do a little bit of sewing, and generally I like to do things with fiber. Today I'm going to talk about my August diaries, about knitting and crocheting during the month of August. I had the idea to film this video while we were on vacations in Corfu, and I did film this video there, but when we came back and I tried to edit it, the sound was very bad, so I couldn't fix it, and I decided to film this video again here, where you can hear the normal noises of a city, helicopters, cars and stuff like that, people screaming. So it is what it is. I hope you enjoy this video also, and I hope you all had a great summer. My summer was not so good, so I'm in a hurry to move to seasons. I hope autumn will be better, winter will be better for me. And let's talk about knitting. At my last podcast, I had almost finished my self-drafted pearly top. I have talked about what I wanted to knit for spring and summer 2025, and one of the patterns I wanted to make was the pearly top from Gregoria Fibers. I saw the pattern on Ravelry, but when I went to buy the pattern, I realized it was no longer available at her website, and I really liked this top. I have made another top from Gregoria Fibers, the Ingrid top, which was a very easy and beautiful pattern. I like it was simple with a little twist with the yarn rovers and the eyelets and all this. So I have imagined doing the pearly top first, and I was really disappointed when I realized it was no longer available. So, and one of the other goals I had for this year and next year is to minimize my yarn stash. And I had this blue yarn from, I think it's saffron, from Drops yarns. And I really wanted to use and make something with it. So I decided to self-draft the pattern by myself. In the last podcast, I think I was about to finish with the 1x1 rib I made at the end, and I cast it off with an Italian bind off. I had made the I-cord on the sleeves, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to make for the neckline. I went for an I-cord also for the neckline, but I think if I did this again, I would pick up more stitches. I would like it to be more loose, but that's okay. It's fine. I remember that on Ravelry, all from the images and the stuff I read for the pattern, it is made from bottom up, but I made mine from top to bottom. I did one panel from the one shoulder, then the next shoulder. I connected them together, knitted a little bit, then I did the same. It's the same front and back for the back, and then I connected them and continue with I think it's a 2 or 4 and 2 rib stitch that she has, and I finished with a 1x1 rib and an Italian cast off. I think, I'm sorry, I'm very bad at this, I should have my notes. I used a 3 millimeter needle, and because I've tried it with a 3.5, I think in the pattern she suggests 3.5, but the fabric that was knitted was too loose for me. I didn't like my stitches with a 3.5 millimeter needle, so this is my self-drafted pearly top. I really love it, and I didn't manage to wear it a lot, but I feel I'm going to enjoy it next year. And this is my first finished object for August. The next thing I try to do, it's using all the yarn I have in my boxes next to my couch, because when I finish something and I have more yarn, I try to think about ways to use it, so I do not put it back in my yarn stash, because I forget about it and I do not use it. And as I said before, the goal for the next year, I think, maybe more, will be to reduce my yarn stash. And last year I made a self-drafted Missoni top, and I used Katia yarn. I used this orange color, the white, and the green, and pink, hot pink, and blue. But I decided, because I had it already here waiting for me to use it, the leftovers, to make a bandana, which I think I wore on vacation 2 or 3 times. I used the granny stitch, and for the cords I just did a single crochet. And this is the second finished object for the month of August, which is a crochet thing. Well, I'm going to repeat myself again. I didn't have a great summer this year, and I really wanted to move to the next season, which is autumn. And it's not usually my style. I do not like autumn. I do not like moving forward to the next season. I like to enjoy what we're having now, which is September, and I live in Greece. We have it's summer still, but I felt like I wanted to move forward. So I have decided to dig in my stash, and last year I had bought, I think it was last year, I had bought boucle yarn from Drops. If I remember correct, I used, it was 4 skeins or 4 or 5 skeins from this off-white beigey color, and I had 1 skein from the brown one. And the reason I bought this yarn last year was to make pumpkin pillows, but I didn't manage to make them, and I used some of this yarn to make a star pillow, which you can find in a video here on my channel. And this year I decided I would start my pumpkin pillows earlier, because the internet is full of autumnal things, and I was influenced, and I wanted to use my yarn from the stash. So I used about 1.5 skeins to make this pumpkin pillow from the white yarn. I found a pattern, a sewn pattern on Pinterest, where it had panels, and to make a pumpkin pillow, and it was sewn together. I think it was 6 panels. So I decided to knit those panels. I cast it on, I think it was about 30 stitches, and I kept increasing every other row until I reached about, I don't remember exactly, I think I folded it to be sure. So I made 5 panels, not 6, and in every panel I made the top, and then after increasing, and then I started decreasing to make again, to be left with 30 stitches on my needles. I think I used a 5.5mm needle, and I made I do not remember what this is called. I made this with the brown yarn and with a crochet hook. Okay, I do not remember exactly what I did because I couldn't watch my stitches with this yarn. This is a yarn I do not enjoy knitting. Although I didn't have the same issue with the pumpkins as I did with my star pillow, but it's a difficult yarn. If you make a mistake, you cannot see it. But well, that works both ways, in a good and a bad way, but I do not like that because I couldn't see my stitches. If I tried to unravel, it was very difficult to unravel it, and crocheting with this yarn was a nightmare. So I tried to do my best, and I made the first pumpkin, and I really liked it. And I decided, because I had enough yarn, to make another one for my sister-in-law, the second pillow. So I have 2 pumpkin pillows. The second pillow is, it's not the same. I feel like the first one I made, it's better. I don't know why. So my sister-in-law will take the first one, and I will keep the second one. I will give it to her very soon. And these were the other 2 things I knitted in August. And that's all about my finished objects during August. I don't remember if I talked about it in my last podcast, but I have a lot of I have a lot of yarn skeins with different colors from cotton yarn, which is lace yarn, and it's almost a box of it. So I was trying to think what I could do with it to use it, and my idea was to make a blanket. So a blanket for the bed in the guest bedroom we have here in the house. So I made a few. I don't know if I have some here with me. Let me see. Okay. So the colors I want to use in this room are browns, yellows, salmony pink, and green. And I decided to find colors in a more earthy tones from those skeins I have, in order to make granny squares. So this is a brown one. I have finished with this yarn, and I tried to make some and then hide the endings so I do not have to deal with it when I want to connect them. I think this is going to take a lot of time, so I don't know why I'm showing you this, because it's not going to finish very soon, probably next year, because it's a side thing I do. I make these granny stitches, and I have no idea how I'm going to connect them or how big the blanket will be, but I don't care. I just want to use the yarn and make a blanket out of it. I will find a way. I don't know, maybe I'll do a mix of yarn and fabric. We'll see. I think it's going to be a different video for this blanket. And I think I made about 20 squares. I'm not sure. It was not a lot, but that's okay. And that's all about the things. I don't know, can I put this in the finished in the finished column? I'm not sure, probably not. But as I said, I feel very wintry and autumnal, and I didn't want to deal with the cotton linen yarn I have on my stash, so I picked up the yarn for winter and autumn. Although autumn in Greece, you cannot wear very heavy clothes. I had, I think there are 9 skeins of silk, kid silk mohair from Drops in 3 different colors. I will insert a video, and I feel like my skin is very sensitive with the heat, and in winter I do not like things scratching on me. So I saw from Breathing Yarn that she made the kilometre scarf, and I thought it would be a good idea to make this pattern. The kilometre scarf is from Florence, made by Florence, and it's a free pattern. I will have a link in the description box below. And it was the first time I did a Turkish cast on, which is great. I do not knit socks, so I didn't know the Turkish cast on, and I did it for the first time, and I love it when I learn new things. I only finished 1 skein. I had to use my needles, and I have this on a cord. After you do the stockinettes, after you do the Turkish cast on, after a few rows, you just knit in the round stockinette stitch, which is very easy, very mindful. And I think it's going to be a long scarf, which I really like. I like long scarf. Probably this is why I chose to make this. And I will have the time to enjoy it as a side project when I want to knit something difficult. And the difficult thing I am knitting, if you've been here for a while, you would have seen that I've started the year, my first finished object for 2025 was a self-drafted pattern from a sweater I already have, which is from a fast fashion brand. And it's the sweater I have is made from cotton. And I think I have this sweater since 2013. I have it for many years. It's my favorite scarf. I said scarf, okay. I have this sweater from 2013. It's my most worn sweater in winter. I love it because I don't know, I love the color, I love everything. And I had bought this yarn, this cotton yarn from the Greek yarn Petaluda, and I made the sweater. It was my first finished object for 2025. But when I finished the sweater, I realized that I had a lot of mistakes and I didn't wear it because my purpose was to unravel it and make it again from scratch. But I didn't feel doing it right away because it has that diamond stitch pattern in the front, which is something that it's not mindful, let's say. And I decided to unravel it before we left for vacations, and the things I had with me when we went to Corfu were some skeins of yarn for this for making the granny squares. I had the kilometre scarf, which I was sure I was not going to need. I just wanted it there, you know, for safety reasons, just to have something in case you need it. Because this is crochet, this is knitting, so I felt like I had to have both in case my appetite wanted knitting or crocheting, depending. But the main thing I had with me, and I knitted, and I have started it here in Athens, and I unraveled it once in Corfu. It was, I'm sorry, I have this yarn here on the sleeves. It may seem like it's too small, but the thing with cotton yarn is that it expands, and it expands horizontally, not vertically. So if I made it too big on the sides, I felt like after blocking I wouldn't enjoy it as much. So it fits, and I feel like because it's cotton yarn, it will expand. I made the neckline a lot smaller, and to be honest, after we came back to Athens, I think I have made so many mistakes, and I have went back and tried to fix them. I don't know, my mind does not work well, and I feel like it's going to take a long, but I feel I'm going to finish this before the year ends, so I feel good about it. So it's cotton yarn. I could knit it with having sunscreen on my hands and salt water and things like that, but that's why I took this with me. It was not too heavy to knit it on the beach, so I keep on knitting this pattern right now. I will have a link in the description box below if you want to see how I made this diamond pattern. I found an easier way to make the pattern while I'm knitting, so I do not have to use the extra needle for the cables very often. But I don't know, if you want to find something similar, you will find the way. I wanted to show on the video how it is to knit it and be clear how the stitches go, so I used the needle for the cables. And probably I could have not started with the rib stitch on the neckline, but I hate picking up stitches. I do not like this, and it feels good, so I'm glad I did it this way. I hope the sleeves are good also. As I said, the cotton yarn always expands more than you wait for it to expand. And I don't know, I don't feel like I would have finished this when we talk again, but I feel it will be a project that I will finish in October, I hope, and it will be okay to wear it before the year ends. So these were all the things I did and keep doing here in September. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment. I would love it if you tell me what you are making, if you have started with autumnal and winter knitting. And I will see you at the next one. Bye.